And now, we'll hear how the influence of big money presses on real flesh and blood legislators down in the trenches. From the 135th Assembly District of New York State, my Assemblyman, Republican Mark Johns.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Sam and everybody. I can't see everybody out there, but I thank you all for allowing me to come in. And I'm here with my fiancée, Ginny. You know, a couple years ago, we won a race that we weren't, that's it, wave the audience. We won a race that we weren't really supposed to win. We were outspent at least 2-1. And we did it by walking to 6,000 houses, literally door to door. It's the old-fashioned way. It's kind of how you remember it from the history books. But money does have influence. And as your speakers today will tell you, it's usually the person that spends the most that wins. And if you don't think that it has influence, then we could change the laws. But the people that make the laws are generally the ones that are going to, they're the incumbents. They're the ones that get the money. And if money is free speech, then the lack of money is the lack of free speech. We should be talking about issues. I talked about real reform. I still talk about it. We need campaign finance reform. I might be the only Republican that actually pushes for it. But we also need term limits. A lot of these folks, these men and women, they think that it's very important that they stay down there. But I always say that the cemeteries are full of irreplaceable men, you know? Oh, we can't get by without that guy. Yeah, you know, we can. We can get by without a lot of different people. Most people think that 12 years is enough. You know, a U.S. Senator serves 2 6-year terms, President serves 8. Why should the legislature be any different? We need term limits. We also need redistricting reform. I don't want to get off the campaign finance reform issue, but you know something? President Obama won by millions of votes. The U.S. Senate had millions more votes for Democratic senators. In the House of Representatives, the Republicans lost some seats, but they still retained control of the House of Representatives, even though they lost 1.5 million votes. We need redistricting reform. We have districts in New York that are so convoluted, you couldn't look at them with a straight face and think that they look normal. They look like jigsaw puzzles. They're cut out to protect the majority. The majority is a 2-1 majority in the assembly where I am. We talk about a lot of equity issues down there, pay equity, marriage equality. We don't have legislative equality. I sponsored a bill last year called the SOLE Act, S-O-L-E, but the L-E on the end stands for legislative equality. It's a sensible opportunity or a single opportunity for any member of the Assembly or the Senate, majority, minority, no matter where you are politically, to bring a bill to the floor for an up or down vote. Just to give you a little background, in the New York State Assembly, they introduce right up about 12,000 bills every 2 years. That's more than the U.S. House of Representatives. We vote on less than 1,000 bills every year. We don't even vote on 10% of the bills that are authored. Of those bills, half of them don't have any sponsorship in the Senate, and most of them don't become law. And there's a lot of good ideas down there which could be brought forward by either side, either party. You wouldn't say because someone was a woman or someone was black or someone was Hispanic or Asian that they wouldn't have a good idea to bring a bill forward, and yet they're bottled up in committee. They never come out. Of the 1,000 bills that we vote on, every single one of them passes. Some people in the audience probably realize that, others don't. And when you start to take a look how orchestrated everything is, every bill that comes to the floor passes. Where else but the New York State Assembly could you flip a coin 1,000 times and it always comes up heads? So I really believe that we need to have a lot of reforms, campaign finance reform, independent redistricting reform, and term limits. Let's make sure that people go down and represent the people, not the big money. I remember what got me into politics was about 20 years ago, back in December of 1994, we passed something called the World Trade Deal, World Trade Organization. Kind of started the race to the bottom. We didn't set minimum standards anywhere around the world, but we decided that we were going to harmonize with other countries like China. Try and form a union in China, and you're going to be the next involuntary organ donor. And they're going to be taking your kidneys before the bullet goes through your head. It's not a level playing field throughout the world, folks. It's not a level playing field in this country. But anything that we can do, campaign finance reform and otherwise, to make sure that the people are being spoken for and not just special interests, I think is a wise move. And I'm here to say that Ginny's here to, both of us are here to support you. And this cause, I know we may differ a little bit on how we think things should be done, but we all see that there's a problem. And thank you very much for giving me a time and opportunity. Thank you.